Good morning, everybody. Hello, and welcome to Chapter 7 of Too Weak, Too Strong 2.0. My name is Rashid Khan, and what an exciting edition this has been so far. Simply world class. For today's session, we have partnered with Zero, and I'll shortly be introducing you to our amazing friends from Zero. But let me begin with a very important announcement first, and that is to make sure your MyACC account is fully up to date. All your contact details and payments should be in order. So if you have not renewed for 2021 yet, please do it today. The deadline is just around the corner. So to remain fully supported in chasing your dreams and reaching full potential in your career, please stay connected with your global network. And for students joining us today, remember the standard deadline to enter June exams is 26 April, which is coming Monday. And today is Friday. So just last few days to avoid disappointment, and you have to book exams today, because when you wait till the last day, anything can happen. Systems can stop working and you can face many issues. So try to complete your exam booking today. And there's a good news. There's a highly valuable future ready business professional certificate waiting for those who will attend all the chapters of this season's Too Weak Too Strong. So make every effort to ensure you don't miss any chapter. Today we will be focusing on cloud accounting with a practical demo of Zero. We have two amazing trainers today. We are joined by JPV Lagman. He's a professional accountant, just like all of you. He's a partner consultant at Zero, and he's joining us from the Philippines. He has extensive background in the field of accounting, finance, audit, taxation, and accounting software solutions from his more than 12 years of experience in the profession as a professional accountant. He has been with Zero for over a year as partner consultant, assisting Zero partners to ensure smooth digital transition. He's very passionate in delivering consultations to local and international clients, partners, and he believes right information and continuous innovation are key elements toward client success and in building beautiful business. So welcome JP to today's session. And with JP, we have a really energetic person joining us from Singapore. We are lucky to have Noor Azrina Rahman with us. She is Zero Account Manager for rest of Asia. Over 8 years of experience in account management in a wide variety of industries across the region. Having learned the dynamics of these trades, Azrina has now mastered the art of providing top class services to partners in Asia. She's been with Zero for over a year, and what excites her every day is, interestingly, working closely with the partners to build beautiful business together and making an impact for small businesses in the region. Azrina loves languages and speaks English, Malay, Baha, Indonesia, and currently learning Turkish. And I think, Azrina, you can probably start learning Urdu as well if you have to keep interacting with ACM members in Pakistan. So without further ado, I now invite Azrina to take over and start by explaining what is cloud accounting and teach us more about Zero. Over to you,
Thank you
Azrina.
so much, Rashid, for the very detailed introduction. So first and foremost, Ramadan Mubarak, everyone. Good morning, and thank you for joining me in this session on Introduction to Zero, as well as a short demo of the tool. So again, my name is Azrina, and I'm Zero Account Manager for rest of Asia, currently based in Singapore. And I have my colleague on the line as well, JP, who's a partner consultant in the Philippines. He will be taking over the second half of the presentation together with the demo of the tool. So what I wanted to do is to take you through the journey of Zero, who we are, what we do, and how we can help the small businesses in the region. Before that, are you able to see the screen? JP?
Yes,
Okay, so JP, if you can start presenting.
Yeah.
Yep. It's on in my webcam now. Could you please okay, for a while?
Yeah, you have to share your screen. We are not able to see
Yeah.
your screen, so if you can start presenting
Yes.
again.
We can see now.
Yeah, we can
Great.
see it now.
Yeah.
Put it on full
So maybe you can
screen
just...
and over to you, Serena.
Okay, great. So next slide, please. Okay. So what I wanted to do is to take you through the journey of Xero, who we are, what we do, and how we can help the small businesses and the accounting firms in the region. So what is Xero? Xero is a beautiful cloud accounting software. We believe in creating a beautiful experience for you to do your books in real time with cloud. So our headquarters is based in New Zealand. We founded in 2006 and we've been 15 years. We've been in the business for 15 years now. So the thing about Xero is that there is nothing to install, nothing to download, nothing to backup, and nothing for you to update. So what you need to do is just get the internet and smart devices like your laptop, mobile phone, tablet, and you are ready to go. Next slide, JP. Yeah, so what we want to do, our purpose is to make life better for people like yourself and your advisors. So who are the advisors? So in this region, I think especially in the Southeast Asia as well as probably Pakistan as well, a lot of the small businesses do not have the bandwidth to hire their internal accountants. So usually they will be engaging outsource accountants like your accounting firms. And next slide. What is our vision? Our vision is to be the most trusted small business platform. Next slide. Just a quick stats about Xero here. So we have more than 2.4 million subscribers. As you can see from the screen, this is a figure that we took sometime late last year. So these subscribers come from across 180 countries that are currently using us. We are definitely growing exponentially, as you can see from the chart here. We've also connected with more than 800 ecosystem ad partners like your PayPal, Stripe, HR Easily, Dear Inventory, etc. And we have more than 200 banks and financial services connections globally. Xero is also a public listed company. Next slide. Okay, so here are some additional stats, but if you'd like to find out more, you can always download our annual earning reports in ASX, which is the Australia Stock Exchange website, as we are listed with them. Next slide. Okay, so I'll just share a little bit on why use Xero. So the first one is connectivity. So Xero is not just a bookkeeping product, it's a platform. So think of it like your smartphone. 10 years ago, how did you use your smartphone versus how are you using it now? Okay, so we downloaded different apps in our smartphones. It's the same concept with Xero, whereby with the app marketplace, you can customize according to your needs, and that's uniquely yours. Best-in-class data protection. So if you look at bank level security, do you have internet banking? Then great, you are already on the cloud. And enterprise grade performance, we have 99.99% uptime, best in class, built in the cloud. Xero is built in the cloud, so you can log in and access your information anywhere, anytime. This also allows your advisors or your accountants to log in anytime, anywhere to, and provide you with real-time advice. Xero allows you to have remote collaboration, as you can see more and more of this due to the current pandemic. And the 24/7 support. So our support is award-winning, where our friendly and knowledgeable experts are here to help around the clock. So they are also accountant trained. With Xero officers around the world, we'll give you a speedy response, usually within a couple of hours, no matter where you are, always here to help you on your Xero journey. We also have an online help center, which is called the Xero Central, that provides comprehensive, up-to-date information on every aspect of Xero. And lastly, continuous innovation. So Xero has really invested in our infrastructure. We spend millions of dollars on things you can see. So we deliver enterprise great performance, and our security is on par with top banks. We operate multiple data centers simultaneously, so that if anything catastrophic happens suddenly, we would be back up online very quickly. Also, the investment in our infrastructure means that we can release new features quickly as well. Next slide. Okay, so how small businesses get paid faster with Xero? Online invoicing is one of our best features. Whether you're a small business or an accounting firm, you don't need invoicing platform to use this feature. So I think the usual practice currently is that you need to create invoices manually and then print out a copy to the customers and wait for payment to come. So I think this can be really tedious and take a lot of time because it's manual work. Whereby what we do here is that you can send the invoice directly either via PDF or email. And the online payment here, you can either pay by credit card, debit card, or even PayPal. So the invoice reminder is something that a work of CRM software, where what they do is they chase payments and collections for the customers. So you don't need to do the chasing of payment in this case. So all you need to do is just set the alert and you are ready to go. Next slide. Okay, so customers who use Xero get paid faster than those who don't. So because of the pandemic right now, cash management, I think businesses have issues with cash flow management. Cash management is really necessary in order to finance the short-term obligations. So when you get paid faster, this can actually help the businesses to plan ahead when it comes to cash management. Next slide. Yeah, so this is just a snapshot of what a cash flow looks like. JP will explain a little bit more in his demo of the tool later on. Next slide. And these are some of the ways in terms of the invoice payment providers, where we have, you can make via debit and credit, as well as any of our Xero app marketplace providers. Okay, so next slide. So here are some of the key features of Xero. So if you look at, I'm just going to call out some of those. So for example, like the two-factor authentication, I think this is something similar that you do whenever you log in into your internet banking. We also have real-time data on the real-time dashboard. I think financial reporting is also important for the accounting firms and the users and the businesses. It's also embedded in our in Xero. Inventory system and bank reconciliation, online payment collection, etc. Next slide. So this is to share a little bit more about data security. This is definitely our top priority. I think as mentioned earlier, our security is on par with top banks, and because we operate in multiple data centers simultaneously, we make sure that there is no breach of security. Next slide. Okay, so these are some of our ecosystem or app partners in the app marketplace. We have more than 800 connected apps globally. So some popular ones in Asia would be like Spotlight, Workflow, Stripe, HR Easily, PayPal, Shopify, etc. Next slide. Okay, so HubDoc is now included in our business edition plan. So what is HubDoc? HubDoc is a data capture tool which extracts key data from documents, then creates transactions in Xero. So what HubDoc does is it uses the OCR, or the optical character recognition, to eliminate data entry. So while HubDoc stores all your documents, it also eliminates the need for manual data entry. Can we go back? Next page, please. Yeah, so this is some of the features that HubDoc can do for you. JP will share a little bit on HubDoc during his demo later on, so you can have an idea of what it is. And then I'm sharing with you a short video of HubDoc in the next page. So no worries, there is no sound in this video. You can just look at the screen. All right, so if you go to the next page. So anything that can be automated will be automated. And over to you, JP.
All right. Thank you so much, Azrina, for that a very good introduction of Xero of yours. And so my task for this afternoon or this morning, I mean, is for you to be able to have a trip towards cloud accounting and why we should be using such at this very point. So at this juncture, allow me first to thank the organizers for inviting us in Zero to do this webinar session to all our attendees. We are so much delighted to be able to share some insights with regard to Zero and cloud accounting in general. And so to start with this session, perhaps you may be familiar with regard to the usual way that we do accounting before, wherein all our data are locked in the desktop. So without the desktop in front of us, we may not be able to access client information and be able to manage the accounts of our customers, of our suppliers, and all the like that we do, especially in the field of accounting. And so what transpired in the last few years is that cloud technology has been evolving, and so it helps in providing access anytime and anywhere for as long as you have an internet connectivity, in which at this very point, I know for a fact, worldwide, we have this very much prioritization when it comes to connectivity. And everything or almost everything that we do as part of our transactions now are being used, or the internet is being used. And so this is something that we also want to share from Zero, being it a cloud-based software, an accounting software at that. The information that you have for your clients will now be capable of being accessed anytime and anywhere. Okay, and you may be able to work on these clients when needed. And so what are the benefits of cloud accounting, if we say so? So first, we have our data about our sales, our income, and purchases that can flow straightly from your bank to your books. So you don't need really to spend hours and hours of transcribing them in order for you to prepare your financial reports. So in cloud accounting, you may be able to enjoy the benefit of having it on a real-time basis, or having the report on a real-time basis. And also here, you can also see your current financial position at any given point in time. For us accountants, this is very important, especially if you would like to see the current financial position, and especially our cash position. So we may need to take a look into our system in order for you to be able to have an idea on what is happening all throughout your transactions, and for you to decide on the matter whenever it is needed. And so next, we have multi-user access that makes it easy to collaborate online with your staff, or even with your accountants if you are a business owner. Okay? And so this cloud accounting may be able to share the data to the multiple range of users that you grant access to a particular organization. That means the more people that can be collaborating with this online software, there is this possibility of having all our records be in place and intact at any given point in time. And it's so much easier for them to chase for certain transactions. Instead of doing them manually, you may be able to right away ask them to directly record into the system, so that these can be capable of being generated into reports. Next, one of the benefits also of cloud accounting, it's the fact that it's an online software, so you have nothing to install, nothing to update, and all your data is backed up automatically. Perhaps this may one of the considerations that you might be thinking when you want to shift to cloud accounting. Because as we all know, the installation of a land-based software, it's very much costly, and the maintenance of such will likely spend you more money in order for this to be properly maintained. Unlike in an online software, the subscriptions that you might be paying will include already the necessary updating and necessary features that the software provider is thinking that you might be beneficial of. And so next, you can also set up a dashboard showing important financial information like who owes you money, what bills are due, and how your cash flow is looking. Perhaps during this pandemic, and a lot of businesses are really struggling on how to cope up and revive the situation in order for it to be regularly operating just like before. Perhaps the dashboard to show your financial information will be of use and will be beneficial to the users in order for them to decide quickly on whatever information is given to them, particularly cash flow management. As we all know, in every business, in financial management, as our principle, cash is king. Therefore, when we manage cash properly, we may be able to sustain the operations, being you as a partner or advising your business customers in order for them to be abreast with regard to the situation and the condition of the finances of the organization. And so just to give you some telltale signs in order for you to decide on whether is cloud accounting really something up to you to consider at this very point. And so these are the signs that we are trying to tell you in order for you to gain knowledge on whether is it really needed for me to shift to cloud accounting. First, you might see yourself, you often find you manually enter a lot of backlog of data, and that often gets left to the last minute, and you are coping up to the deadline in order for you to meet necessary reporting requirements or even compliance reporting that we do as accountants. And so perhaps cloud accounting might be of help for you to be able to run through a lot of data and be able to manage them on time without even doing several manual works, okay, along the way. Also, life would be so much easier if you could access your financial data all in one place and on demand. Wherever you are, whenever you need a data for a specific organization, for example, you are a practitioner, you want to see the financial status or financial condition of your client, then you might be able to access the financial information of your client all in one single place, which is in cloud, and that you may be able to access anytime, anywhere, and on demand. Also, your business or your practice does not have a backup plan in the event of data loss or during unforeseen events such as the pandemic. Here in our country, in the Philippines, where I reside, a lot of businesses are really caught up with the pandemic situation. Perhaps all over the world, a lot of businesses are really affected by such unforeseen event. And so, what is more painful is for these businesses to see them gone just because they do not have a backup plan in case of events such when they were not able to operate and they may not be able to retrieve their financial information on time, and so they cannot decide on the matter really quickly. And so this will help you. The cloud accounting will help you. Even your staff will be working from home. Your business owners will be working on their own phases, and you as their accountants will be working also from home. You may be able to still manage and be able to use the cloud accounting as your backup plan in order for all the data to be in place and intact whenever they are needed. You've thought also about switching, but don't want the burden of upfront monetary and time investment. Maybe you are still pondering that cloud accounting is something that is costly, very expensive. Okay, then you might need to reconsider and to rethink about it, because as I was saying earlier, perhaps it is more costly for you to be able to maintain your own server, your own hardware components, just for you to have all your data stored and be kept in your workplaces. I'm not saying it's bad, but then again, it's more beneficial if it's about time for you to shift in the burden to all these software providers and be able to for you to be able to just sustain your operation just for a matter of subscription that you may be maintaining. Also, as Rina mentioned about security earlier. Security and privacy is, of course, one of the top priorities that you may also consider, and you may want to stay in control of this. So cloud accounting, being it, of course, you grant the access to all the users of the information for every organization that you manage. Staying up and control to the security and privacy is also or can be delegated to you as well. And you have, or the system itself has a lot of security features, which I will be showing you later on, in order for you to have a peace of mind, a particular peace of mind, especially if you may be wondering if how the cloud data is being managed. And lastly, you want your accountant to access your data so that you don't have to send them manually the data needed to do compliance job. So here, my example is that if you are a business owner and you want your accountant to collaborate with your books, and you do not really have the time to extract all the manual information that you have, perhaps you are still using the traditional way of safekeeping receipts, invoices, and all the documents that you do for your financial transactions, then you might want your accountant just to have an access for you to not be able to send them anymore manually, for them to also be able to do the compliance job on a real-time basis and even before the deadline comes. So that is basically one of the benefits, or a sign that will tell you that it's a matter of deciding now whether you really have to shift to cloud accounting. And so there are a lot of reasons why we are also considering cloud software at this very point in time, not just because it is timely, it is trendy. Of course, beyond that, we also want our practice, if you are a practitioner or if you are an accounting firm, or if you are a business owner, we want to stay relevant, and we want, as a practitioner, we want to give financial advice to our clients the soonest time possible, because the timeliness of the reports that we give them will likely be more relevant in the decision making, and that is, of course, one of the principles that we have, especially in our accounting field. All right. And so at this point, I would like to do a demo, a very quick demo on the key features that you may want to see in our software, which is Xero Accounting Software. And so to start with, okay, I'll start with logging into the Xero page. Okay, and as you notice, in my PC, it is already or the login credentials is already pre-saved. Okay, but then in order for us to, or for me, for this access not to be okay, to be granted to anyone else, once I click log in here, okay, it will require me for a code, okay, which is what we call the two-step authentication, wherein you need to enter a code that comes from an authenticator app that you need to install in your smartphone. And from there, you may be able to enter the code generated by the system in order for you to be able to log in and be able to access the client information. And so I have here a sample organization. Okay, so this is ABC Pakistan Corporation. Okay, so let's just treat it as if it is a company that is located, of course, in your place there in Pakistan. And so what you see at this point is the dashboard of Xero. So Xero has its dashboard wherein you will see the bank account, okay, that is already added as part of your you can add to the organization any bank that the client or organization is using. And you will also see here the cash flow, okay, the movements of cash that will show you how much money you make and how much spending you also do in the books. And so you also have the summary of invoices that are owed to you, and you also have there the bills that you need to pay. Okay, of course, I do not have yet a transaction here wherein I will show you on how you will be able to add several transactions such as bills or purchases, and also how you may be able to add sales invoices in order for you to complete the set of reports that you might be needing for your operations. And so that is a dashboard. It's simply the snapshot of everything that you would like to see in a snap. And if ever you would also want to see certain account titles or accounts in the books, you may also check the chart of accounts and take, for example, your sales. You want it to be shown on the dashboard as well. Okay, you may actually edit the settings in your account details. And when you go back to the dashboard, it will add up to the account watch list. Okay, so it will show you account watch list for the account sales. And so as an accountant or as a business owner, you do not need now to dig deeper to your general ledger reports in order for you to see the real-time balance of your sales account. And so you can do that to as many as accounts that you would like to see along in the dashboard. Okay, so you have the control on whatever you would like to have in your dashboard. Okay, and so part of the feature also of Xero is the business menu, wherein you may enter here or you may create payroll. This is the pay run. Products and services, which will be for the inventory. Xero has a simple inventory that it can manage. Perhaps you are managing a trading company, and you might be doing transactions as you buy and you sell the products. So Xero can actually handle that for you. Expense claim feature is something that you do when it comes to your reimbursements or expense reimbursements. So for example, you as the owner or business owner, you oftentimes you create or you make expenses that you would like the organization to be reimbursed, or for you to be reimbursed, then you might be as well using the expense claim feature of Xero. Also, the bills to pay features, which is the purchases functionality. Okay, where once you do the activities for purchases, you may start doing the transaction from a purchase order where you can send directly to your supplier, and from them you may be able to process it into the accounts payable processing. Also with the invoices, okay, you may be able to create it from quotation if that is something that is useful to you. You may start doing a quotation, and you may be sending it out to your client as well. And once these are accepted or the codes are accepted, you may be able to generate a formal invoice that you can send directly to your customer or client. And so later, I will also show the reports here, the short-term cash flow and the business snapshot, where as Rina was mentioning earlier, that cash flow management is something that is useful at this very point in time, especially that we are facing pandemic, and for the business as they struggle, we might need to take a good look into our cash flow management, wherein Xero can give you that snapshot. So it can give you an overview, what are your collections in the next few days, what are your bills that are to be paid in the next few weeks, and so you may be able to generate and manage well our finances, our short term at that, and be capable of doing short-term cash management. Also in the accounting, this is something, or this feature is something that is very useful for us accountants, wherein you may be able to manage the bank accounts of your client. You may add, you may edit, you may remove certain bank accounts which are idle for a certain organization. You may also do several reportings as needed, okay? And Xero has a bunch of it. You may be able to select a wide range of reports, where I will show you later on how are these reports be of help to you as the business owner, or also to you as a practitioner, because we can also create report templates for the practitioners or for the accounting firms, so that you may be able to create also a report that can be templated and can be generated specifically to your clients. Okay, so we also have there the sales tax report. Okay, and then a bunch of advanced features like the chart of accounts. Okay, of course, that is our listings of all the account titles. A feature called Find and Recode, wherein you may be caught on doing certain corrections of entries and you want them to do in bulk. So you may be able to use the Find and Recode feature as well from Xero. Also the fixed asset management, where you handle here the depreciation and disposal of your fixed assets. So it is something that can be done as well in Xero. And so the manual journals, wherein the purchases and invoicing features are not or cannot handle the transaction, then you may be able to record them as a debit and credit entry into the manual journals. So all of this I will be showing you, okay, in a short while, for you to be able to have an idea how is it being used in Xero. And also you have here the contacts list that it can manage, the customers list, and even the suppliers. Okay, for the customers, you can also set here the credit limit for each particular customer. Okay, so you may be able to add a customer. So I will just show you around here. Okay, for adding a customer, you may be able to add here their contact details, the contact information, the financial information, and of course you may be able to write there the credit limit amount if you would like them to have a certain limit only when it comes to the transactions that they do with your organization, right? So that is for the contacts. Now let me share on how you will be able to add a certain product or a service, okay, in this case. So I'll start with the products and services here. Okay, and so I would like to name an item, I would like to sell an item, and this time I will just be showing you how to add a code for a service item. Okay, so for example, this would be a professional service. Okay, okay, so for example, this would be for a firm. Okay, and this is let's say a CPA service. So you sell this item, you may be able to also write here how much you charge a client, so that you may not be entering this rate from time to time. So you may be writing it as 5,000 Pakistan rupee. And so the sales account, if you are using sales or any applicable, for example, this is for revenue, you may term it as service revenue. Okay, in the chart of accounts, you may edit as well when proper. Okay, so I'll just save it. And then from here, you may be able to add now a particular invoice. Okay, so I will be adding an invoice from the business menu here, or I may also be able to create from the quick launch here. And this is the shortcut. Okay, so I'll just click the plus sign, and then I'll create a new invoice. Okay, and so I will be writing here as let's say it's XYZ. Okay, XYZ Corporation. Okay, and the due date here is dated on today's date. It is default on today's date. And the due date, you can set the due date per contact in the contacts menu, or you may also write here, for example, this is plus 7 days, or the invoice will be due 7 days after the invoice date. So you may just simply type plus 7, and the system will automatically calculate it for you. The invoice number comes from the settings. So it is default in the invoice settings. And you may just write here a reference in order for you to depict the transaction on the nature of this transaction. So this will be useful, especially when you are searching for a particular transaction. Reference is something that you can search anywhere in Xero. And so I just want to copy this as okay, and then I'll just state here March 2021. Okay, and so sorry, for example, I will be choosing the one earlier created, so professional service CPA, and then I will just be writing here March 2021 to depict the date wherein I have rendered the service. So as you notice, the item is in the products and service, and that saves me time entering all the details here. And so I may be able to change also the rate here. I have added the rate here, sales tax for services. Okay, if the amount is tax inclusive, you may set it at tax inclusive, or if the amount is exclusive of tax, you may actually choose that the amounts are tax exclusive. So the system will calculate it for you, okay, whenever applicable. Also, you may want also to upload a file, okay, and you may be wanting it to be attached to a certain transaction. So, for example, this is the attachment that you would like to include, okay, as part of your transaction. Then you may be able to attach it, and you may also include it as part of the invoice. And once you see this file icon and there is a number there, it means that there is a single document that has been attached together with this transaction. Okay, and so depending on the user settings that you set in the organization, each user may be able to save this as draft or submit it for approval, and they can be you may disable the approval function for those users. You may also do that if you are the advisor of this organization. Okay, so you may have a lot of you may set a restriction for each user whenever applicable, and that is part also, of course, of our internal control procedure as we manage the client organization. All right, and so I just need to approve it. Click approve. Okay, and this transaction will now be posted. Okay, so the invoice has been approved. And what I like most in Xero is that as an auditor, perhaps as a practitioner, personally, I like the audit trail functionality of Xero, wherein each transaction, you may be able to see the activities done. For example, the time and date it has been approved, it has been created, and even the file that has been uploaded to each transaction. Even the user who did that, okay, it will be shown in this history and notes. Okay, so even the editing, so whatever you do in this transaction, you may be able to see this as part of the audit trail in the history and notes features of Xero. Okay, and so the good thing about it, you may be able to send it also directly to your customer. Okay, for example, the XYZ Corporation. And so let me just choose here. I will be sending it. So you may see an example. Okay, so I'll just be sending the invoice, and the email has been sent successfully. Okay, that is the notification. Now, if I click the invoice and the sales overview, in the awaiting payment tab, since it's already approved and we are awaiting for payment, there is a notification that this has been sent, okay, to XYZ Corporation. So once it is viewed by the recipient, then this notification will turn as viewed. Okay, so that is also a good feature that we may use in order for us to ascertain that all our invoices are being accepted or being received by our customers or by our clients. Okay, and so that is for the invoices. Okay, of course, you will see that as part of the receivable report if that is not yet paid. Okay, and in this case, it is still awaiting payment. So you will expect that this has been posted into the accounts receivable report. Okay, and so next we might be looking on the recording of the bills to pay. Okay, in this case, I will be using the HubDoc, okay, as our platform in order for you to create certain transactions such as bills, in order for you to have an ample time for the data entry of the transactions, particularly bills. Okay, so I will be showing you how we can link HubDoc together with the bills entering. Okay, so first, let me show you under the bills to pay. Okay, there is one transaction there. Okay, that is JKL. Okay, and then I would like to add another transaction. Okay, and this transaction comes from the HubDoc. Okay, so I'll be clicking HubDoc here. As Rina mentioned HubDoc earlier as a data capturing tool that we can use in order for us to do data entry, and that it is a machine learning tool. So everything that we upload as part of the document can be capable of being recognized by the system and be able to post accordingly depending on your preference. Okay, so I'll just sign in using my Xero credentials here. Okay, and then what I will be choosing is this entity, ABC Pakistan Corporation, in order for me to upload. Okay, so this one is the one that I have shown earlier. Okay, this is that transaction, and so I just want to have a similar uploading of that document. Okay, so I just click upload document here and just look for the file. So I'll be choosing this one and then click open. All right, so there you go. It is stated that it is completed, and so there is an exclamation point there that it means it needs to be reviewed. Okay, but then again, when it has a check mark, it means it has been published already. And so let's see how it has been published. So this is the copy of the bill that was recorded. Okay, so we have JKL and this is ABC Pakistan Corp, and we record this as a, okay, we configure it as a purchase, and this would be in the awaiting approval. Okay, and this will be coded as the general expense, and I have shown here the amount which has been captured already by the system, okay, by HubDoc. Again, this is because of the machine learning capability of the software. Now we go back to the bills in Xero and we try to check whether it is really here. So I just need to click refresh and be able to see that there is really one transaction here that comes from the HubDoc. Okay, so the reference is 01-2021 and the attachment is the one that has been recognized by the system. Okay, it is his tax service 13%, and this has been recognized also by the software. So you can take a look if that is something that is really similar with what you have uploaded. Okay, it's better that you really also need to check. Okay, so go back to bills to pay, and these are in awaiting approval. I might want to approve them all at once, so I just click all and click approve, and then click OK, and this will now be transferred to awaiting payment. It means these are now in your accounts payable outstanding, and they are awaiting for payment. All right, so that is how we do transactions such as this one. Okay. Okay, so let me go back in XYZ, and I would like to add and edit this transaction. Okay, and I just write here 20,000. Okay, and this would be tax inclusive, and then click update. Okay. All right, so what will happen again in the history and notes? It will be shown as edited. Okay, so edited there, and the amount has been changed from 5,650 to now 20,000. Okay, so that is how you record bills and purchases. So you may also want to use this menu aside from HubDoc. Okay, create a bill from here, and then you may also set the details, and you may also attach a document similar with the invoicing that I have done earlier. All right, so what I will be doing now is, of course, we expect that this transaction might must be paid and must be collected. Okay, and so I have added here an account NBP or National Bank of Pakistan business bank account for this ABC Pakistan Corporation. You may add any other bank account in the accounting feature or accounting menu here, and you may also set, okay, and add the bank account accordingly. So you can handle as much as bank as possible whenever they are needed in order for you to manage each client organization. All right, and so what I have here, I do not have a bank feed to be used. Okay, bank feed is something that your bank is integrated with Xero, and that whenever you transact with the bank, okay, all those posted transactions will be pushed by the bank into your Xero account, and from there you may be able to do the bank reconciliation seamlessly. Okay, so in the absence of any bank feed, and you may still be capable of doing bank reconciliation by importing a bank statement. Okay, and so from here I might want you, I will be showing you how are we going to add a certain statement. So I have here an example. Okay, so a statement example. All right, so this is the template, and I have here the details dated today, April 23, 2021. Okay, and the amounts are here. In the negative, okay, it signifies or it indicates these are withdrawals, and the positive one, it indicates deposits or collection. Okay, and so I have written the description there. Okay, wherein one is a partial payment, okay, and this is a full payment for a reference indicated as well in the column. Okay, so what I will be doing is I will be importing that statement. Okay, so you may be able to recreate the bank statement coming from your bank account. Okay, and so you may download the CSV template which I have just shown you and fill up the details accordingly. Okay, you may see there, okay, in the CSV file, you may be seeing the asterisk on top of the header. It means these are mandatory fields and that this must be filled up. Okay, and so going back, I just need to look for that file. Okay, and then look for this statement import template. Once it's there, you may click import. All right, for first time importing, you will be needing a mapping to make sure that the date is mapped with the transaction date and that is previewed at today's date, which I intend to. Amount is on negative, it means it is a withdrawal. Okay, and then this is the transaction amount. The description, I have written JKL, but for some reason I will change it into reference. Okay, simply the reference is something searchable in Xero. Okay, and this reference now will be unassigned, so I can just remove that as part of our statement lines. Okay, and so I just need to click save, and confirmation that there are 3 statement lines that will be imported with 0 duplicates, and then click OK. And so here now our bank statement lines are in this section, and these are matched, okay, or suggestively matched with our transactions per books. Remember earlier we have recorded bills and we have recorded an invoice. Okay, so going back to the dashboard first, I will show you that this bank account now will indicate that there are 3 reconciling items, okay, awaiting to be reconciled. So you just need to click that. Okay, you may also want to select the reconciliation report in order for you to validate that this is something in principle that we have understood in our accounting accounting profession. This is we do not change the principle of debit and credit, and even the principle of reporting when it comes to certain accounts that we need to reconcile. That's, for example, the bank reconciliation. So this is something also similar that we have earned during the undergrad years. Okay, so we have there the balance per book. Balance per book, and this is the balance per bank, and that we need them to be reconciled. Okay, and so what are we going to do now is, at first, these are auto suggested. Okay, so remember earlier I have recorded 2 bills, and these are the same amount, 2,260 Pakistan rupee. And if they are 2, or there are more than 1 transaction with the same amount, Xero will suggest another possible match that has been found. Okay, and so if I'm okay with this, I'm happy with these details, and this is really the transaction that I am matching to, then I just need to click OK, and then it will be removed accordingly. Okay, and so this one, XYZ Corp, is the one that we have created an invoice to earlier. Okay, it indicates in green, meaning it is a sales invoice, and I am pretty sure that this is the one that I am reconciling at. Therefore, I can click now OK. And so what do we do now with this partial payment for JKL company? So what I will be doing is to look for a match. Okay, and we have here another bill that is still outstanding, and we all know that this is a partial payment as indicated in the description. So I may click that transaction and be capable of splitting the payment, and so the partial payment will apply from the 2,260 with the remaining amount now, which is still outstanding at 1,000 Pakistan rupee. And so I'll click split and then click OK. So everything else has been reconciled. And so we go back to the reconciliation report. Okay, we can actually see there that our account now has been balanced with the balance in Xero and with our statement balance. All right, and so moving on, I would like to show you what reports we can actually do in Xero. Okay, as I was saying, under accounting menu, and then you click reports, okay, you will be seeing there the bunch of reports which are classified into financial reports, into sales reports, into purchases, the bills that we have entered earlier, the sales tax report, okay, and the accounting reports such as the ledger, journals, the trial balances are here. Okay, with the ones indicated that these are new, it means these are new reports that we can use, and these are being updated by Xero on a regular basis. Okay. Also, we have here fixed assets schedule. Okay. I haven't shown you how we do it in Xero, but this is something that we can take use of if we are doing depreciation for several fixed assets that we manage in an organization. All right. And so I would like to show an example here, like for example, the profit and loss here. Okay. So the profit and loss will, of course, it will show us, you can change the date. Okay. For example, this financial year. Okay. And then click update. And you can set also more settings if you want it on a cash basis report or on an accrual basis. You may show the account codes or even the percentage of the trading income. So it gives you a more flexibility when it comes to the reporting that you would like to see as part of the generation of the reports is concerned. And so all of our reports can be capable of being exported into PDF, into an Excel file, or via Google Sheets. Okay, so again, all of our reports can be exported as to such. Okay, and so that is for the business reporting. Okay, what if you are a practitioner and you have a template of report that you would like to use, particularly if you manage a client on a year-end basis, you need to create an annual financial report, particularly for the client. Okay, and so we set here under the reports, okay, and then under the advisor tab here, okay, I have created an example Pakistan report template 2020. Okay, I'm not so sure whether it is something similar with what you are reporting, but I have heard and I know for a fact that you are also using IFRS or the International Financial Reporting Standards similar to ours. And therefore, we have a unified reporting when it comes to the reporting standards. Okay, and so I have set here the complete set of reports which you might be needing, like the compilation report, the management responsibility report, the auditor's report or audit opinion. Okay, for example, this one, okay, in the audit opinion page, you may be able to just edit whatever highlighted there, or you can just change the date of the reporting date. Okay, for example, last financial year. Okay, and so everything else will be changed there accordingly. Okay, and so you may be able to just indicate the name of the signing partner or of the name of the firm that you are creating. Okay, and also it has the same set of accounts like statement of financial position, the profit and loss and comprehensive income. Okay, so let's just take a look on this. Of course, we have no details about this. I haven't entered a previous year transaction. Okay, and so we have here the state or profit and loss statement with other comprehensive income. Okay, and so we also have the statement of cash flow. You can choose whether indirect or direct method depending on your preference in the reporting. Likewise, we also have the changes in equity. All right, and that would be up until the notes to financial statements. Okay, wherein you may be able to just edit whatever applicable note that you would like to use. Okay, in that case. Okay, so that would be can be exported again. Okay, let me just show you how it will look like once it is exported into Excel or PDF, I mean. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, so that is, okay, so this is the report, and you may be just able to send or print it out and be capable of signing whatever is needed for this financial report. Okay, so I think I have mentioned all of our key features that we expect or you may be expecting to have in our Xero accounting software. All right.
Wonderful, JP. I think it was really comprehensive, and after seeing this demo, I feel that I can do accounting myself. It's very simple, very user friendly. So thank you very much for this. And we'll go to our attendees and we'll find out if they have any particular questions or any use cases that they want you to focus on. But before that, we go to Azrina for remainder of her presentation. Azrina, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here. Thank you.
All right, perfect. So over to you.
All right, thanks Rashid, thanks JP. Okay, so here is just to show you the pricing. This is inclusive of HubDoc, so there's no additional fees on top of what is stated here. So there are 3 simple monthly pricings according to your needs. So if you look at the starter, which is $20 per month, this is good for freelancers or startups or those with new businesses because there is restrictions in the number of transactions. And then I think the most popular plan that we have from our partners, our clients, are usually the standard, which is at $30 per month. So basically, this is where you can send invoices and quotes, enter bills for those growing small businesses. And the difference between the standard and the premium is basically the multi-currency. So if you don't need multi-currency, standard pricing is fine. But if you do need other currencies like USD, SGD, then go for the premium. Next slide, please. Okay, so the next step is we do have a special promo just for a limited time only for the attendees here. You can either email me, which will be shown, my email address will be shown in the next page, or you can scan these QR codes also in the next page. JP, next page, please. All right, so if you're an SMEs, small businesses, you can scan the first QR code. But if you are in accounting firms or practitioners, please scan the second one. So basically, this will bring you to the registration page. And then, you can also either email me directly at azrina.rohman@xero.com. More than happy to get connected to you, with you. And hopefully to see you soon as a partner of Xero or a user of Xero. We will leave this page open while JP and I will be answering any questions you may have. Thank you.
Right, thank you very much for this very exciting offer for all our attendees today. Really appreciate that, Azrina. Now I'll open the question panel and see what questions we are getting. All right, so there's a question for you, JP. Most of the questions would be for you since we have a lot of professional accountants attending it today. Question is from Muhammad Suleiman. My question is that, for example, if someone reports an invoice and then after uploading invoice, the client deducts amount in their final payment, so how will we reconcile the payment?
All right, so there are a couple of ways on how it could be done in Xero. So I'll just perhaps be sharing my screen again here. All right, we'll go back later on that. Okay, so the question is something to do with the transaction, for example, an invoice that has been paid already, but then apparently this would have been, or this was deducted, okay, for some reasons by the owners. Okay, so once the transaction has been paid, all you need to do is to remove the payment first, okay, in order for you to be able to edit the transaction accordingly. Okay, so it will go back into awaiting payment, okay, and it will also go back into our reconciliation page. Okay, so the transaction will be there. Okay, now if for some reasons the invoice has been changed, okay, so we can actually see that, for example, this one, okay, and there is a reduction. It was mentioned there is a reduction in the amount. Okay, so you can edit the invoice from here accordingly. Okay, and so this would be now at let's say 15,000. Okay, all right. So I just click update. Of course, it will not match automatically in your dashboard. Okay, so it will not match anymore from here, because the item that has been received from the bank is 20,000. There is no auto matching that has been found in Xero, but you can still reconcile the transaction. Just click find and match, okay, and then look for the transaction. All right, and then you may be able to add a transaction here, like for example, the remaining 5,000 that has been received could be an overpayment, and so that received money, you can set it as an overpayment, okay, and be able to choose the name of the organization, okay, and then you just write the reference here when necessary, and even the description for you to be able to see it eventually or subsequently during the transaction. And so I have matched a transaction in 15,000 and the overpayment of 5,000, and you can all still reconcile that transaction accordingly. Right.
Perfect. Thank you very much for that explanation, JP. And we have questions for you, Azrina. there's a question from Amara Sheikh. She's asking, you shared the pricing. So do all three packages have reporting modules included in those packages? And the other question I wanted to club with this is by Hira Hafiz. She's asking why a person should prefer Xero accounting software if they're already using any other cloud software. Why they should, change the provider or the platform.
Okay, so I will just answer the first question, and maybe JP can help me with the second one. Okay, so for the first one, the reporting modules are included in all the three different pricing model that you've seen earlier. JP, can we go back to the, yeah. Okay, so as I've mentioned for starter, right, even though it's the cheapest, the only difference is that there is a limitation in the number of transactions. So you can see that you can send up to 20 invoices and enter up to 5 bills a month. But if you need unlimited, or you can't have any restrictions on that, then it would be best to go for the standard pricing. Again, the QR code that we've indicated in the slides, this is for registration, and someone from Xero will get back to you. But if you like to reach out to me directly, you can always email me, and I can share with you a little bit more on the pricing or the features in it.
Perfect. Over to you, JP. Why should a person change the platform? What is so great about Xero if somebody's already on cloud?
All right, that would be probably a very tough question, because each software, a cloud software at that, we also recognize that they have their own strength, and they may also have their own set of limitations. But what I love most in Xero, notwithstanding that I am from Xero, being a practitioner myself, and I have been using the software for 6 years now, I have seen that the flexibility of the reports that we can do in Xero is much more powerful than the any other cloud software that we have in the market. I can personally attest to it, but I cannot really compare it in between those other software. But then again, the flexibility that the reporting can be done in Xero, okay, since we are accountants, and we are most often caught on preparing reports for clients, and how do we present it on a real-time basis. This is something that I have personally encountered with Xero, and benefited from it. That's why I can say that this is something that you can consider when it comes to your decision of shifting into Xero as your accounting platform.
Yep, and one thing to add is that there is no limitation in the number of users. So for example, if you were to have one subscription, you can have unlimited number of users. We don't encourage you to share their login IDs, because as you can see that we really emphasize on security.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right, very well. So we have another question for you, JP. This is from Rihan Ahmed. Rihan is asking, Xero has any option for consolidated financial statements? This is a question.
All right, so yeah, that's a very good question, because a lot of businesses might be handling group of companies. Okay, and so I wasn't able to show you earlier that in Xero we also have this what we call app marketplace. As Rina mentioned about Xero earlier as the platform, and that it has an ecosystem, a wide range of applications that you can actually use in order to be integrated, or that can be integrated with Xero. And that comes also with the reporting templates or reporting apps. Okay, so we can choose from a variety of functions that you may take a look, and that for business consolidation reporting, this one is very applicable, the FATOM reporting. Okay, while Xero in itself, since this is basically per organization reporting, all those Xero organization that you manage under your firm, and if they are under a group of companies, then the FATOM reporting can be able to do consolidation of those reports. Okay, so you may be capable of exploring the possibility of the reporting apps that can be useful in your firm as well. And these go with a lot of functionalities. So we have, as Rina mentioned earlier, more than 800 ecosystem, and that they are listed accordingly here per industry or per task or per application that they are capable of managing.
Right, great. Thank you for that answer, JP. We have another question. I'm not sure if you actually covered it when you were explaining reconciliation. So this is from Uneep Sajid. He's asking, is there any feature in Xero that can detect or identify any discrepancy or duplication in bills or invoices?
Oh well, that's also a very good feature that we have in Xero. Like for example, this bills to pay. Okay, if for example we have a JKL company, okay, and then I would be writing another bill. Okay, similarly stated. Okay, JKL. Even in HubDoc, it is functional. Okay, so I'll just write here plus 7 days. Okay, and then I'll just also write here sample. Okay, sorry, it should be 001. Okay, and this would be something that can be detected by Xero, since we already have a recording of 001 invoice as a reference from JKL. Then it will show you that this is already existing. Once you open it, it will revert you back to the original recording that it may have been entered. Okay, and so HubDoc also works the same. It now detects duplication. Okay, so any possible double up can be detected in Xero.
Right, very well. There's a small question from Hira. Can we add any bill if you're not using HubDoc?
Yes, yes. As I mentioned earlier, you can also add from here directly, okay, from the bills to pay feature or from the quick launch. So you can set here, you can create a bill accordingly. Okay, so let's say, for example, this is OPQ. Okay, you can write the details as such. Okay, and then, for example, you have the sample reference and you have sample purchase here. Okay, purchase, and then you can set the quantity. Also, it has a built-in calculator. Okay, so Xero has it in this case. Okay, and then also the unit price can be calculated if you want to use this built-in calculator with it. Okay, and then for example, this would be consulting. Okay, so you can set the rate as well here. Okay, in the settings or in the account settings. Okay, and then you may be capable of approving it accordingly. Okay, so even without HubDoc, you can still use the bills to pay feature.
Right, very well. So we have a question. This was from Amanuddin Mughal. Does it notify once the invoice is paid by the client? Do you get a notification automatic that an invoice has been paid?
Well, in my experience, if you will be using a payment service, okay, in the settings of Xero, as Rina mentioned about payment settings or payment services earlier, just like for example, PayPal or Stripe, or yeah, these are the sample payment services that are applicable now with Xero. If the invoice has been received and they have the PayPal or any from these payment services shown in that invoice, it will automatically, or the customer can automatically pay directly on that invoice, and that the invoice recorded in your books as the organization will be automatically changed the status into paid. Okay, so at this point in the invoice, if these are manually, there are many modes of payment that we can do. We can the customer can pay directly to the bank. They can pay you via check, via cash. So it may actually depend on the mode of the payment first. Okay, so if it is paid via bank, then the bank reconciliation, as I have shown you earlier, you can pause or allocate the collections and find and match. Just look for the find and match of that invoice accordingly. If this is paid via cash, then it is something that you need to pay it first, okay? in your awaiting payment invoices, and you may need to collect them and report them manually as a deposit before it can be reflected to the bank. Okay, but if they are using again payment services, okay, payment services is something that can be automatically seen to change the status from sending up to the payment. There's the status here anyway, so you can find.
Right, very well. We are running out of time, so I'll just, shortlist a few questions before we, because today's Friday and a lot of people have to go and attend the Friday prayers. So there's a question: is any option for our client to apply for partial payment?
Any option for the client
Partial
to
payment, like installments.
installment? Oh yeah, yeah. It depends on the terms of the transaction, depending on the terms with your customers. So you can set the partial payment as what I have shown earlier in the bank reconciliation. So you can set or split the payment and allocate the payment accordingly to the specific invoice that you would like to do the installment payment.
Right. And there's a question from Khalid Jumra. Khalid is asking, what information data do we need from our clients to be able to provide them accounting and bookkeeping services using Xero? Do they also need to sign up for Xero separately?
Oh well, so I think Azrina can answer that first before I can show you the tips and tricks from Xero. Azrina?
Okay. Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, so the question is, what sort of data or information a person would get from clients in order to provide them with services using Xero? Do clients have to sign up separately for Xero in order to be serviced?
Okay, great. So the QR code itself, I've indicated two QR codes, one for the SMEs, which is the client, and the other one is for the accounting firms to be a partner of Xero. So if you are a client yourself and you want to sign up directly with Xero, you can do so, because we would need the basic requirements or basic information like your name, your email address, etc. And then for the partners itself, we also need your basic information, but someone will connect with you to ask a little bit more details about the number of clients that you want to bring on board. So there are two ways. I've also shown you the pricing page, whereby if you are a client, that is the, you can just sign up as a Xero user, and then you can just pay according to either $20, $30, or $40. So that is the pricing, and you can pay directly to Xero. But if, let's say, you are a partner, you want to pay on behalf of your client, that is also fine. You can do that as well. But if you have a client who's already using Xero and they want to add you as an advisor in Xero, yes, they can do that as well. So what they do is they pay directly to Xero, but you will be the one managing their account, their Xero account. Maybe JP, you can show them how it works.
Okay,
just a short
so if you are a practitioner, if you're an accounting firm and you would like to extend accounting services to your clients, Xero provides you this Xero HQ, wherein you can actually manage your clients from here. So the clients menu here, you will be capable of adding several clients or new clients at that, okay? And you may be able to organize those entities accordingly. Now, the question earlier has something to do with what details you might be asking them to have. Of course, if you will be doing an outsourced service for an accounting service, definitely you will be needing several documents such as the receipts, for the bills, and then of course the invoices that you might be issuing. Okay, so first you might also want them to add. You may want to add your staff to manage a specific client, wherein you can also manage it under your staff menu in your Xero HQ. So you can invite a staff, and you may be able to add them particularly to your to the organization that they should be managing to. Okay. Also, in the Xero account, in the settings, you may also want them to add several users. Okay, that you may be able to collaborate. Okay, or you want them to collaborate into the organization. You can simply invite the users, and from them you may be capable of asking them to enter directly the bills, directly enter the invoices, or the client will enter directly the invoices, will create and send directly to the customers, and then the advisor or the accountant will just then review if this is something coherent and in compliance with our regulations. So that is what we probably we can do. Also, alternatively, if the client decides to send you all the details, all the information that they would like you to enter into their books, Xero has also its file inbox, okay, wherein your client may upload directly or send the file directly to this email address, and you may be capable of generate or accessing it. Okay, and from here you may be capable of entering whenever necessary all the information that has been sent to you by your client. Okay, so it depends on the modality and the arrangement that you would have with your client or with the entity that you manage.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Very good.
so if you're interested to be a partner of Xero, just feel free to scan the QR code. Maybe if you don't mind, JP, we can just share the screen again.
Sure.
And then Rashid can do the closing. Thanks, Rashid.
Yeah, sure. But we have, I think we can take just one or two more questions before we actually close. There's a question from Ozair. Please guide how to create list of employees and run payroll in Xero. And there's a similar question from another participant. Where did it go? So it was actually very similar. So it was also related to payroll. How do you run payroll in Xero? Right? And there's another question which was from a participant. The question was basically the person needed a clarification if Xero is just for small businesses and small practices, or do you also cater to large businesses, or is there any software that you recommend as a practitioner yourself if somebody in the attendees is from a big large business? Can they also use Xero, or do you have any other recommendation for them?
Okay, so let's just take the first the latter question. If my preference as a practitioner, if Xero can be capable of handling also large entities. Okay, so let's have the premise first that Xero is actually best for SMEs, and as we all know, SMEs took a lot from the pie in relation to the entire organization as a whole. Okay, and only 10% probably will consist of the large conglomerates. Okay, and so SMEs, since they are a lot, okay, this software is for them and be capable of maximizing and utilizing the usage in order to manage their business, manage their firms accordingly. Now, if you want Xero to be an ERP software, okay, or enterprise resource planning, which is more applicable to large conglomerates, okay, Xero being a platform, okay, as your accounting platform, and with the use of the ecosystem, okay, with that ecosystem can actually function as if this would be an ERP or enterprise resource planning. So you have the accounting software, the Xero, and per industry, it can be managed by the ecosystem. Okay, for example, you are in a hotel industry, so you may look for an app for the hotel and integrate it with Xero, so it completes the transactional operations from an end-to-end point of view. Okay, so from the point of entering the details down to the reporting, it can be maximized using the software, and it can be literally being said that it can be useful as if it is an ERP software with the use of those ecosystem applications. Okay, and then secondly, okay, the one being asked earlier with regard to the payroll. Okay, so Xero has its pay run features wherein you can actually set, first you need to become a payroll administrator. You cannot grant that access to anybody else in the organization. And so from a payroll administrator, you may be able to run a particular payroll. But for the Zero Global, to be frank, okay, I find it very limited yet at the moment. So we are still dependent on the use of the third-party apps, the HRIS apps that can be integrated with Zero, because there may be certain regulations, like for example, for statutory contributions, the taxation for each individual, the compensation taxes that you withhold. So this may come, it may vary from one country to another. Okay, so the global payroll feature that we have at the moment is not yet capable of handling such complexities. But other countries, they have, like for example, Australia, Canada, and UK, and even US, they have already their own version of their pay run that is already applicable with their setup in those particular countries. But for the global, which we are belonging, we still have that limitation. Okay, so it's a basic payroll at the moment, but you can still manage to do preparation of a net pay for an employee with the statutory contribution. So we can still do that still in Zero, but it's very basic at this very point.
Yep. So if you need more complex, you can always integrate or use any of the apps in our app marketplace as well. And we can usually we can do a recommendation.
Yes.
So it really depends on the specific industry you're in or the specific tool that you require, and we will help with the recommendations on what kind of apps you can use.
Sure, perfect, Azrina. And Azrina will be your go-to person to guide you every step of the way as you scale up.
Yes, thank
last
you.
question, JP, for you. How to upload opening balances in Zero? And with this question, we'll end the question and answer session. And those, because we were not able to answer a lot of questions, for unanswered questions, you can see on the screen there's an email address. This is the person you have to email your question, and Azrina will get back to you with the answers. So over to you, JP, for this one final answer, how to upload opening balances.
All right, of course, for every accountant, accounting matters, the opening balances will likely play a crucial role. All right, so here in Zero, we have two ways. So I can show you under accounting menu, okay, and then the advanced features here. We have this feature called conversion balances, and it typically, you can add here the balances. For example, your conversion date is this year, starting January. So you are expected to enter the year-end balances as of December 31, 2020. So you may do it manually here. You may enter the transaction. But if you have a lot of accounts that you need to fill in, okay, I may be able, if you are a partner in, you will be a partner in Zero and you will be managing a bunch of clients, I may be able to assist you in doing the conversion by using the Zero Conversion Toolbox. Okay, the Zero Conversion Toolbox, it will give you a CSV template file that you may be able to use, and from here you may be able to enter as well the opening balances of each account. So this is how it looks like, the conversion toolbox. Okay, so I just show it to you how it is accessible. Okay, and so we okay, just select the organization. I'll just show you the tab here that the conversion balance is something that you do not need to enter individually, unlike here. Okay, sorry, unlike where's it? Okay, unlike here, you need to enter them individually, but in the conversion toolbox, it is something that you just can upload via CSV template, and you can already see those conversion. Okay, once you go back into this page, once you refresh it.
Full, amazing. Thank you very much, JP. What a great presentation that was. A very practical demo, and thank you very much, Azrina, for arranging this for our ACCA members and future members. We were joined by members from Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, and from different countries in the Middle East. So thank you very much. We are receiving a lot of praise, as you can read in the comments. So Anybody, if you have any questions, please reach out to Azrina, and there's a great offer for you. So if you want to use Zero, avail that offer. It's a limited time offer, so you have to act really fast, and make sure your MyACCA is up to date so you receive the invite of our next TWTS session, which is going to be really, really useful for those who plan to start their own practice or their own business, or they're interested in learning more about the startup ecosystem. So make sure to see your email. We'll send you the invite, and as well as the recording of today's session. So if you've missed any part of the webinar today, you'll have a chance to listen to the recording. So thank you very much, Azrina. Thank you, JP, and thank you, Stephanie,
Rashid.
for taking out time. Really appreciate it, and we look forward to engaging with you again in the future for a webinar on some other topic.
Thank you, Rashid.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Have a great
Have
weekend.
a good rest of the day. Enjoy your Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.